topic. Now, this is the feud we didn't know we needed. Okay? This is the feud we did not know we needed. This is. Hold on. Okay. This is Kyle Richards and Reza. Now, I am going to be listening to this for the first time along with you guys. So this story we are going to break together. But this is the feud we didn't know we needed. I'm going to be honest, I'm not a fan of Kyle, but I'm sure as hell not a fan of Reza. I think he's evil. I think he's really mean. I think he's very conniving. I don't like him one bit. Now, let me know if you guys can hear this. I'm going to try and play the portion from when Reza was on Watch What Happens Live. I'm going to play the clip. Let me know if you guys can hear it. And then we'll go through the article that's on page 6. And I'm breaking the story with you guys, so we're gonna go through it together, okay? Let me know if you can hear. Wait 1 second.
This is gonna get me in a lot of trouble.
Okay, good. I like that.
In advance.
So now, who you think is the most overrated Real Housewife?
This is gonna get me in a lot of trouble.
Okay, good. I like that.
In advance, Kyle Richards.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Ooh.
Sorry, Kyle.
All right. So that was it. I hope you guys heard that. So it says, Reza Farahan is ready for Kyle Richards to move on from The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, but she has other plans. The Shaws of Sunset alum didn't hold back on Sunday when Andy Cohen asked him on Watch What Happens Live to name the most overrated star of the Real Housewives franchise. This is going to get me into a lot of trouble, so I'm sorry in advance, Farahan 49 prefaced in his answer, but Kyle Richards, sorry Kyle. The real estate agent then shared his idea for the Halloween actress's replacement. Former Real Housewives of Beverly Hills cast member Lisa Vanderpump, with whom Richards has feuded for years. Ding dong, I want her to come back, he joked, referencing to Vanderpump's shady tweet. After nemesis Lisa Rinna quit the show earlier this month, I want to know what's going on in her life. Richards fired back at Farahan on social media on Monday. Richards, 54, took to the comment sections of an Instagram post Monday to slam Farahan. Wasn't his show canceled? And wasn't he the first one voted off on Traitors? She wrote, I can't even be offended. Richard's shades didn't sit right with Farahan, who took a dig at her strained relationships with sisters Kathy Hilton and Kim Richards. My show was canceled, and I was killed first on Traitors, but my siblings and all my castmates still take my calls. He commented back, how are at Kathy Hilton and at Kim Richards 11 doing at Kyle Richards 18? Ooh, burn, 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 burn. Okay, side note, this is the thing. Although I can't stand Reza, primarily because I think that I hope he has some deep therapy. I hope he's really working on himself and his emotional state. But I can't stand Reza. I think he stirs the pot. I think he pits people against each other. I think he lies. I think he manipulates. The biggest reason why I can't stand him is what he did to Mercedes. I think it was the season before last of The Shaws of Sunset, where he, again, this is a woman he's known his entire life, calls her his sister. He went and on a rant against her, and he was like, well, the reason why you almost died during childbirth was because you had 14 A words. When someone electively, for whatever reason, chooses to not follow through with a pregnancy. He threw that in her face, and he posted her medical records on social media, and on the show he said that to her. And that's when I was like, I don't care. Reza could adopt 1 million people in this world. He could save the planet. Reza, you're dead to me. The moment you did that to Mercedes, that was so disgusting. This woman almost lost her life She almost lost her child during childbirth. And you throw that in her face, that she simply was a human being and she made choices about what happened to her own body. You throw that in her face, you're disgusting, Reza. Never in life will I ever forget that. You're disgusting to me. And Mercedes, if you ever listen to this, I don't know why you're still friends with him. I honestly think you need to check yourself. You took him back as a friend to the detriment of your own marriage. That's why you and Tommy might get divorced, because I don't see your marriage with Tommy working out, sweetheart. And I'm Team Tommy on that. This man and his husband let your put your husband and the father of your children in jail for breaking pots. By pots, literally like flower pots. They had him put in jail for that. And because he said he was going to beat Reza and his husband up after what Reza did, then you take him back? Mercedes, if Tommy divorces you, and I do not wish this, I don't wish the demise of any family or marriage. But if he does, I understand why. I get it. And to be honest, I would have divorced you a long time ago. You're not going to be married to me and allow your friend to put me in jail because I was defending you. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Tommy deserved better. Justice for Tommy. Mercedes, you were dead wrong. Reza threw you under the bus. I mean, I don't know how as a woman you took him back as a friend and put your own marriage on the line for that. I don't get it, but girl, do you, boo-boo. It's your life, but if you and Tommy get divorced, I'm Team Tommy. Sorry, let's get back on it, but that's why I can't stand Reza. However, in this particular situation, I agree with Reza. I agree. I do think, I'm not going to say Kyle is the most overrated housewife ever, because I think a lot of them are overrated. I think they throw around this iconic moment a little bit too much. I don't put Kyle in an icon category. I just put her in she's been around. If you're talking about time, yeah, she's been around a long time, but I don't think she's iconic. I don't think that she is, I don't think she should be, this great housewife. She doesn't bring anything to the show. Absolutely not. So I agree. She's very, very, very overrated. Also, isn't turnabout fair play? Isn't turnabout fair play? And I'll explain what I mean by that. Wasn't it just a couple of weeks ago where Kyle's husband, Mauricio, was in the same exact hot seat on the same exact show, Watch What Happens Live, with the same exact host, Andy Cohen, who asked him a very similar question? Who is the rudest housewife? And didn't your husband, instead of saying, oh, all the housewives are nice, or you know what, it's between the women, I'm a husband, I stay out of it, instead of doing that, didn't he say LVP? Didn't he say LVP was rude and mean and this, that, and the third? Didn't he throw her under the bus? So turnabout is fair play. Now you're all in your feelings when somebody calls you overrated, but you had no problem with your husband calling another woman rude and mean and going for LVP. Keep LVP's name out of your mouth. And then you're all in your feelings because Reza said, let's bring back LVP and get rid of you. Turnabout's fair play. If your husband could get on the same exact show and tear down Lisa Vanderpump with the question, then Reza can get up there and tear you down. Turnabout's fair play. You didn't have a problem with it when your husband did it to her, but now you have a problem when Reza does it to you. Next time, tell your husband to keep other women's name out of his mouth. And then maybe you would have a leg to stand on. And Reza actually has more of a leg to stand on because he's another Bravo celebrity. Mauricio is by association. He's a husband of. But Reza is actually a full-time cast member. And yes, Saw the Sunset got canceled because Mike got arrested for DV and all of that stuff. Even though I can't stand Reza, him and Mercedes and Gigi, I think, are actually working on their own spin-off show. So he's still on Bravo and he still has a show. So be careful, Kyle, because you may not shortly. All right, let's keep going. The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills star said she wasn't, quote, offended by the Shaw's of Sunset alum's opinion. Really? Then why are you clapping back? Why are you saying anything? You were all in your feelings, Kyle. You were all in your feelings. Girl, bye. Stop lying. You were offended. You were offended. You were bothered. You're in your feelings. Many fans sided with Farahan, calling the Real Housewives of Housewives Ultimate Girls Trip alum boring. I agree, and to me, her storyline is like boring. I guess that's why she has to resort to instigating. One user commented, her storyline for years has been Kim, then it was Kathy. She has always lacked a story. 100%. What storyline does Kyle Richards have? I'll wait. And she doesn't have the personality, because that's what it takes to actually be a good housewife. You need one of two things, if not both. You need a storyline, like an Erica Jane with the whole fraud stuff, or you need a personality like a Garcelle, where you can just show up and your energy is fun. You read and you shade and you laugh and you kiki. Garcelle could not have a storyline, but her presence is a fun. We just like seeing her on TV. Like Nene. Nene has storylines and personality in her heyday. You know what I mean? Before the ego got to her, she just showed up and she was a fun time and she was a good kiki. Same with other types of housewives. You either have a compelling storyline where we're invested in what's happening in your life, or you have that personality where you show up and you're a good time and you're fun, right? Like a Sonia Morgan, right? Sonia may not have a storyline, but I love watching Sonia. She's fun, she's laughing, she's drinking, she's up in the air, it's whatever it is. She's on one, and I love watching her, Karen Huger on Potomac. She could have a storyline or not have a storyline. I just like watching Karen. She's funny, she's engaging, she has read, she has shade. She's a fun time, she's fun to watch. And that's what you need for a housewife. Either somebody who has something really going on in their life and it's a great storyline and we want to know what is going to happen, and that's why we continue to watch. Or they have that personality where they show up and they're engaging and they're a good time and they're a good kiki. That's really what it takes to be a good housewife. And I don't think Kyle has either of those. I think Kyle, it's kind of nepotism. And what I mean by that is the show was supposed to be about Kathy, Kim, and Kyle. Kyle was kind of the spare. Kathy was the Hilton. And then Kim was sort of like the child actress, and like, let's see what happened to her as an adult, right? Because Kim used to be that girl back in the day. And Kathy obviously is freaking Kathy Hilton. And then Kyle was their sister. And that would be interesting. She got to stay on the show because of who she was related to. She kept saying, I'm Paris Hilton's aunt. I'm Kathy Hilton's sister. That's nepotism. Do I think Kyle Richards would have been on the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills as an OG or at all if it had not been who she was related to? No. Who cares about Mauricio Umansky? Mauricio Umansky only has the agency because of nepotism as well. Because Kyle was married, because Kathy was married to Rick Hilton, and Rick Hilton put Mauricio on at Hilton and Highland. That's also nepotism. Because you are related to me, I'm going to give you an advantage. You have privilege and access and influence that you would not normally have if it were not for who you were related to. That's nepotism. So Kyle would not even be around if it wasn't for Kathy and Kim. Because I don't really know that anybody was really checking for Kim Richards like that. She is boring. She is. Her daughters are cute and it's a fun time. Yay, but I don't care. I don't care. I'm not invested. I don't care. What does she have going on? Not a damn thing. Not a damn thing. Lisa Vanderpump made Kyle Richards interesting through her friendship. Kathy Hilton made Kyle Richards relevant through their feud. Kim Richards made Kyle Richards relevant through their feud. Without these other people, she doesn't have her own storyline, and her personality is not enough. I don't want to sit around and just look at Kyle and talk to Kyle. So let's keep going. Yes, give me LVP over Kyle any day of the week. Heart, another fan chimed in. Others, however, took Richard's side, noting that she is the face of the show as the only Real Housewives of Beverly star to appear in all 12 seasons so far. Like I said, nepotism. She's just been around longer. That doesn't mean anything. Kyle is Beverly Hills, and no one can take that from her. Even those LPV stands, sorry, Kyle is the original OG, one person wrote. We already went over that. Thoughts are that Reza is trying to stay relevant and be a state assassin, but his attempts are being cringe, another commented. Now, I'm not a Reza fan, but he told no lies this time. He told no lies. The back and forth comes after the end of a very tumultuous season 12 and subsequent cast changes. Lisa Rinna and Diana Jenkins both announced earlier this month that they will not be returning to Real Housewives of Beverly Hills because they both got fired. Dun, 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 dun. While Jenkins 50 cited her, quote, high-risk pregnancy as the reason for her departure, no chick, you were fired. Rinna 59 claims she effing hated her final season due to her feud with Hilton and the backlash that came along with it. Basically, you're mad that you got exposed. You tried to be the puppet master behind the scenes, you tried to be the assassin from the side, and you got exposed. Since neither of the ladies' replacements have been announced yet, only time will tell if Farahan will get his wish. Now, this is the thing. I would love to have LVP back. I would. I really, really would. I would love to have her back. I would. But I want to know what you guys think. You know, are you on Reza's side, which I can't believe I'm saying it. I am. I think he's right. I think that Kyle is very overrated. I think it's all nepotism. Or do you think, no, Kyle's an OG. She's a staple of the show. We have to have her. Want, want, want. And do you want LVP back? I know I do. So put your questions down below. And are you checking for the spinoff that Reza and Gigi and Gonessa are allegedly filming or in? Are you checking for that spinoff? And what are your thoughts? I watched Stars of Sunset and I was ready for it to end. I thought it was also going to a very dark, creepy place. But I'm not a fan of Reza for how he did Mercedes and all of that stuff and just who he is. But on this one, I'm Team Reza. So comment down and put it down below. And now, if my voice stays with me, here is the last thing I wanted to talk about. If you can't read the screen, don't worry. I'm going to read it for you. But this is Lisa Rinna